Welcome to the first episode of our tutorial series. Today I'm going to be covering everything to do with the squat setup. We're also going to be covering different aspects of the squat in weeks to come, also the bench press and the deadlifts at the big three. Just a little bit of an introduction. This is filmed in lockdown. I'm very fortunate enough to have this space at home in the conservatory, and I've had this equipment for a number of years. So one of the big advantages of that, what we wanted to do at the Sports Centre, is get content out to you straight away with no hesitation. If you do have equipment at home, this is going to really help. If not, this is also going to be useful for you to have now. When you go back into training, it can speed up that process of getting accumulated again to lifting. And also if you want to try something new as well, this is a really good place to start, so you're going to learn everything you need to know to develop your own skills and to be able to squat efficiently and lift efficiently and safely. So this is going to be on the University of Lincoln Boxing and Barbell YouTube, and it's also going to be on the University of Lincoln Sports Centre YouTube, I'm sure across all the social media platforms as well. So a little introduction about myself. So my name is Thomas Brannick. I'm an instructor at the University of Lincoln Sports Centre. I've been powerlifting for going on 7 years now. I have a degree in sports performance and exercise development. I also have an IPF level 2 qualification. IPF, if you don't know, it just stands for the International Powerlifting Federation. I also help run the Barbell Club at the University of Lincoln in the Sports Centre itself. So this is for also anyone who's interested in that Barbell Club, and anyone that goes to the Barbell Club or just wants to run over some basic cues and just the simple stuff. Okay, let's get started. So first I want to talk a little bit about equipment. If you're in a commercial gym or in our gym upstairs, so we do have specific bars for lifting like this. If you are in just a commercial gym, what you want to look for is a bar with a centre knurling. That's probably the most important thing. Otherwise it's going to move and possibly slip on your back. Very unlikely it'll actually slip off, but I think it's really important to start there with a good bar, because a lot of people can't really distinguish between bars or just think any bar is good enough, when really you want the safest approach. So a bar with a bit of centre knurling on it, you'll be able to distinguish between the smooth part of the bar and then the slightly rough part of the bar, which is called the knurling. Also got a checklist down here, so if you see me looking, I'll look down here. I'm trying to refer to that and cover as many of these points as possible. Also, in terms of equipment as well, one thing that I love about powerlifting is you don't need any additional equipment from the clothes you have: shorts, joggers, a t-shirt, and then trainers. The only thing I wouldn't recommend is using like running trainers or trainers with a spongy heel, because that's just going to absorb force. So if you have anything that's flat, minimalist shoe, absolutely perfect. So in the coming episodes we'll cover things like certain bits of equipment that you can use or you have to try and get the most out of. Okay, so how to set the bar up, so how to set the right height. So for me, I squat in heels, so I'm normally a couple of inches higher than this. So this is my squat height in heels. Because I'm using flats, I'm going to show you how to set it up in flats. Also, whatever kind of rack you have is going to be slightly different. This is a combo rack, so it's 2 in 1. So this is the squat portion, and then the bench is here that can be moved in the bench out of. You will adjust the height of your rack, however that is. Now, just a general rule that I tell everyone is between the bottom of your chest and your chin. It needs to be in that area there. Anything higher, anything lower, just going to be uncomfortable to get under or way too high to walk out. You'll probably find it's higher up, so just below your chin, but just work in that area when you're setting the bar up. So once the bar is in the right position, you're ready to set your hands. So you'll notice on most bars they have rings on either side. You're going to use your hands to feel the ring, so when your head is under, you know what that feels like. You get that same feeling each time. So a lot of these things all depend on your levers. So I'll give a general instruction is to put your finger and your thumb over the ring. That's normally wide enough for most people. Again, if you find that uncomfortable, bring it out wider. There's not a set rule. These are just general instructions that you can do and try and develop yourself. That's really important to mention there. So, use the rings. Grab each side with your finger and your thumb, and then you're going to stand in front of the bar. Now, if you have a bar with a centre knurling, this is going to help you build a symmetrical setup. So you're going to look at the centre knurling, you're going to bring your head underneath, and you're going to walk your feet forward. So from that side view, hopefully you can see now my feet are directly underneath the bar. So if my feet were out like this and I try and pick the bar up, I'm going to use my lower back to do so, which isn't good. So get underneath the bar, create a stable shelf. I'll show you a different angle in a second of how to create a stable shelf, and then your feet are directly underneath. I just wanted to talk a little bit more about creating that stable shelf. So once you have your hand position, you're looking at the centre knurling, you dip your head underneath, and then it's a matter of squeezing your shoulder blades together and pulling the bar down across your back. So that bar is one with you. So that bar isn't an addition, it's completely one with you. So shoulder blades, imagine my hands are the shoulder blades, squeeze them together, pull down with the elbows and pull that bar across your back. Now again, sometimes people can experience elbow pain. Play about with your hand width and play about with how much you're going to pull down. The final few things that I'm going to run through is feet position, leg position underneath the bar before you walk it out, and the actual walkout itself, and screwing your feet into the floor. Those are the final steps we're going to work on today. Okay, so everything I've just told you, take hold of the rings on the bar, squeeze the bar, look at the centre knurling, your head dips under, your back is making contact with the bar, you're creating that shelf, so shoulder blades together, and then down, and you're pushing the bar down onto your back. Use the uprights of whatever rack you're using to make sure your feet are directly underneath the bar. That's a really important point. Most people, I find, want to pick up the bar with their feet further out, which is going to put pressure on the lower back. And once you've got some weight on there, it's not going to be good. Okay, so once you've made sure your feet are in line with the uprights, or whatever rack you're using, you're going to stand straight up. You're going to let the bar settle. Then you're going to do 3 steps. So first one is right foot straight back. Second one is left foot out and slightly behind the right foot. And then your right foot, the final step, is going to just mimic what the left has just done. So it's coming out. From there you can adjust your feet just to make sure they're even, they're symmetrical, you're happy. The final step today is going to be screwing the feet into the floor, which I will go through. So that walkout takes a lot of time, takes a lot of practice. Same with everything we've covered. So if you're completely new to lifting, it's going to take a little bit more time, but don't get frustrated. Just work on each point individually. Make sure you have a checklist when you're going out gym, things you want to work on. If you have more of an established base of lifting, so you've been doing it for a number of months or a few years, then it's really important just to go over the simple stuff, because there might be something that you've neglected or forgotten about over time. So every once in a while, just go over the simple things. Like that step out. A lot of people also do a 2-step walkout. But I find there's too much momentum in the bar and it carries you backwards. You're not in control. So that's why I always recommend a 3-step walkout. However, this is where it goes against the grain a little bit. If you've already established a really good 2-step walkout and you're happy and you're comfortable and it's not causing any issues, stick with it. If you want to try it, by all means do. But I recommend for most beginners and a lot of people that I see getting things wrong with themselves, a 3-step, because it's more repeatable for me, in my eyes. Okay, last thing, screwing the feet into the floor. I placed a towel on the floor to help me demonstrate screwing your feet into the floor. So after you've walked out, got yourself in a good position, and you're standing there ready to squat, the next thing is screwing your feet into the floor. So if you watch the towel, as I go and do it, the towel is prying apart. That's the sensation, that's the feeling you want. So you notice as well, moves the knee out. For a lot of people, they say it gives them more stability. So again, one more time, feet on the floor, screw it. So you see the towel being pulled apart, that's the next thing to work on. Okay, we are going to go through breathing and bracing on later episodes, so don't think I've forgotten about that. Let me know in the comments below what you want to see next. Cheers.